Welcome to the Sanger and to the graduation of the Blazer Academy, our sixth Blazer Academy. First of all, I want to say to the parents how much I appreciate you loaning your kids to us for the past 6 months. And if you're wondering about why we even do a Blazer Academy, let me give you a brief history. I used to coach a lot of football, and I would have my players, after every play or before and after every quarter, certainly after every game in practice, I'd have them kneel in front of me, and we'll talk about football for about 10 minutes. But we talk about life for about 30 minutes because, you see, I had their undivided attention. And there were kids that needed some guidance. There were kids that needed advice. There were kids that really just needed time. And so I'm at work, and I get a phone call, and it's from a teacher, a school teacher, and he says, hey, I won't name his name, but you probably know him. He's a really great football player from around here. He said, little Johnny says that he knows he's in trouble. He wants you to either call his mother or Coach Chip. And apparently his mother wasn't there, so they had to call Coach Chip. So I realized we have an opportunity to mentor these young men, and I also realized that we have an obligation to do the same thing. So as the sheriff of Escambia County, we have a lot of town halls, and we talk a little bit about crime. We talk a little bit about gun violence. And I got to thinking, why don't I just do our version of that? Why don't I do what I wish I had? And what I'm talking about is I had two grandfathers, right? My mother's side and my father's side. None of them lived nearby. I don't remember having a single conversation with my grandfather. No grandfatherly advice, none of that. But I wish I had. So I wanted to create that. Now, they may have grandfathers on both sides. They may have 4 grandfathers for all I know. But I took that as an opportunity to say, let's give the advice that perhaps a grandfather would give. Let's give advice that perhaps a father could give. Let's give advice that anyone would give, quite frankly, to give them that opportunity, the answers that they may not even realize they need yet. But 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, they'll, in the back of their mind, they'll think, you know what? We went over this one time before. So what do? We start talking about heroes, not just who your hero is, but why are they your heroes? We weren't judging them if Spider-Man was their hero. What we were talking about, I want to know what the thought process was. And let me tell you something. Sometimes a 13, 14, 15-year-old young man, they're not very vocal. Sometimes they're too vocal, but sometimes they're not very vocal about themselves and what their feelings are and what their concerns are and what their questions are. And we knew that from the very first start. The very first class, we went over what? First impressions. They may have come back and they may have talked to you about this, but I want to make sure you understand it from our perspective. How do they shake a hand? Do they make eye contact? Do they stand up? Are they confident? So building confidence, we understand, in 6 weeks is not going to work, but it's a start. Because if you build confidence, you also build that strive, that yearning to succeed. But it's also that confidence that gives you the ability to withstand temptation, to withstand peer pressure, but also the ability to ask a question. Don't just sit idly in the back. Ask the question. We say, be a man. So we talked about first impression. We talked about history. We talked about a book called Good to Great. We didn't read the whole book because that would bore me and them both. But I'm telling you this, we weren't striving for mediocrity. We're not just trying to be okay or average. We're trying to be great. We strive for excellence. One of my famous quotes is, we always strive for perfection. No one will achieve perfection, but along the way, you will achieve excellence. Now, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, counting today is not going to get us there, but it's going to plant that seed. And I'm telling you, the look on their eyes when they start realizing something, to realize that they can be a part of a conversation about their own future. They can be part of a conversation about their role in our community. I can tell you right now, you got some good kids. The younger generation gets a bad rap. Everyone blames them for this, and they're spoiled, and they don't know hard work, and they haven't been through this, they haven't been through that. It's true because they're teenagers, young teenagers. But what I know, and what I've seen, and what all the instructors around here have seen, is that there's a future here, right? There has to be a future here. When we're gone and we grow old, the people who can be running this community, running our families, are sitting right here. And I tell you what, I could not be more proud of where they've come from and where they've gone. We do a little thing, the last thing I'll talk to you about is podium time. And this really started because I'm standing up there in our conference room. It's also where I give press conferences. I look over there and there's a podium with my name on it, right? So I thought, why don't we bring them up here and ask them a question? Let's work on some things. And so they get up there and we talk to them about, not about public speaking so much as talking about what they feel. Putting into words how they feel. Now, I'm not an English teacher, not a math teacher. I'm not any kind of teacher. So we were free to do all this stuff. And it was flexible. So if the question started with one thing and ventured into another thing, that's perfectly fine. We'll stay there for a while. Because once you have them, once we have them engaged and asking questions, that's when the magic happens. And we all, after a class, we start talking about, man, that worked out really good. That was really good. Because we enjoy this just as much as they do. We had two cautionary tales I talk about. One about, they may have told you about a drinking and driving, and then one about drugs. We didn't go into too many details, but we have some people that have a unique perspective on these particular things. And while that may be the worst thing they've ever heard in their life, and it may never happen to them, hopefully it will never happen to them. There is something to that they can think about. So with that, I'm going to introduce to you who we have here. We have Chief Tommy Leiter over here. These are the members of our staff, but they're also those who helped us. Chief Deputy Andy Hobbs over here. Ronnie Rivera works for the Sheriff's Office. Delarian Wiggins, who has talked to a lot of y'all, he can't make it today, so he sends his regrets, and he also wants to make sure you understand how much he appreciates it as well. We also have Hassan Hills, my good friends right here. He taught one of those impactful opportunities that we were talking about. So this is graduation. We're going to go from here. We're going to call them up individually. You're welcome to come up, take pictures all you want to, and then we'll have them all. Guys, we'll have all y'all sit back here. Don't come back to your seat. Just come back up here with your certificate. And then at the end, if you want to take a picture up here, you can, but please make it quick because we got to walk down the street to the Global Grill where we're going to finish the Blazer Academy. We're going to have that fine meal, and then you can either get them from the sheriff's office, back where you dropped them off at, or you can check them out, if you will, over at the restaurant itself. So with that, though, we're going to show you just a brief little video of kind of a day of what took place. I'm assuming this is it. Let's roll this video first. it's difficult enough to get up there at the podium, especially without me hovering over you like that, looking all mean. But they did a fantastic job. So we're going to call them out. Chief Hobbs is going to call them out one by one, and we'll take a picture of them real quick. These pictures will be posted probably on our social media platform tomorrow. Tomorrow. We do things quickly around here. So tomorrow. So as we call your name, what you got? Yeah, what I'm going to do is why don't y'all come up back here. Back here. All right. Let's go ahead and get started.
Alexos. Alexos. Corday Anderson. Kingston Austin. Elijah Batista. Samarius Bonner. That wasn't bad, right? Yeah, you did it. Walter Carr. Minor Diaz. Clarence Dunn. Benjamin Godden. Akeelan Harris. I know. I was going to call you AK. Max Harrison. Cameron Heath. Javion Jefferson. Michael McCombs. Lucio Ramirez. Colin Rizette. Tyne Roney. Omar Stallworth. Aiden Stewart. Aiden Zumwalt.
Thank you. One more round of applause for the Blazer Academy graduates.